Alright guys, just saying here, back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a team building guide for the BEERUS and WHIS EZA event. Now, they are very good, so I definitely suggest you doing this. Not only obviously do you get the 30 stones, but you do get the LR BEERUS and WHIS EZA. And I think they're probably the best EZA that we've seen out of the bunch. Unfortunately, the EZAs have just been very lacking. So these guys are probably the best. And they're not really like insane. They're very good, but they're not like crazy. It's just the other EZAs have been very lacking. So yeah, but I think it is very good that BEERUS and WHIS is like a very, very good EZA, because we don't get a lot of BEERUSes and WHISes in the game. So a card like this definitely will impact like a lot of the other BEERUS and WHISes. So definitely just a good card all around. However, I will say the category weakness is kind of bad. It is Legendary Existence. Unfortunately, this category is not really the craziest. It's very small. So you are going to kind of have to go out of your way to make sure you have certain units to make this easy. But it's still possible. You could make it work. You know, I mean, there are a lot of good options on here. We got a lot of God Gokus, a lot of Z Brolys. We got some hits. We got some UI Gokus. We even got some boos in here. So definitely, I mean, you could make it work. I just think to like a new player, this might not be for you, because this might be a little difficult. But anyway, I mean, just getting right into it. First off, we have Namek Goku. Now, Namek Goku is pretty old at this point, so definitely has fallen off in terms of his performance. But in this event, he'll still be good. Of course, he does lead Legendary Existence. Unfortunately, it's not for 170% across the board. He does actually give 150% to defense, which is still good enough. So, I mean, it's good in terms of his lead. And he does stack, so he'll just get better throughout the fight. But, of course, it's an EZA event, so the fights typically don't go on for that long. So just keep that in mind. You're not really going to be able to, like, spread your wings with this guy, because the fights are just very quick. But, you know, he'll still be able to do a lot of damage. You throw him in slot 1, you receive the attack, you get the guaranteed additional. And, you know, you really start to rack up your damage, especially when you start to get the 18 keys off. So then you do stack with him. And, I mean, he's a pretty good unit. He's still very, you know, powerful in terms of his attack stats. And I feel like in an easy event, he'll definitely work pretty well. Just because, I mean, of course, he's not really crazy old. He's only like, what, 2 years old at this point. So he'll still be all right. Now, unfortunately, you won't be able to use his active skill, because you do need to be facing an extreme class enemy. And BEERUS and WHIS are not extreme. They are super class. So, yeah, you're not really going to be able to make use out of this. But still, he's going to be linking with a lot of the other Gokus you bring on the team as well. So, I do feel like this guy's going to be a pretty solid option to bring. Well, obviously, he's the ideal lead as well. So, yeah. But moving on to the next lead, we've got UI Goku. Now, as you saw in the beginning of the video, he's the only Legendary Existence lead. So, you are going to kind of have to bring some, like, sub-teams if you don't have the Namek Goku. And I feel like UI Goku would work pretty good as a sub-team, because he has Miraculous Awakening, which does cover a lot of the UI Gokus. And, of course, there are a lot of UI Gokus on this category. So, he should work as a lead. And, of course, I mean, UI Goku is still really crazy to this day. He's got the 70% chance to dodge. He's got the high chance to crit on his super attack effect, and that does stack. So, if you get additionals, which he does have built in, then the additionals become guaranteed crits. And this guy has the revive as well. Overall, I feel like this guy, to this day, is, again, just very good. He's aged very well. Unlike, you know, someone who released right alongside him. Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. But anyway, yeah, this guy's very good. He's got the active skill as well, which can do some solid damage. It's from the 4th turn when HP is 50% or more. And during the latter kind of half of the event, you should be making it to turn 4 if you're not just, like, blitzing through it. But, so you'll be able to make use out of that. But, yeah, I mean, again, he'll link good with a lot of Gokus you bring on the team as well. So, just overall, really good option. His leader skill, again, is very good for, like, a sub-team. And, yeah, I just feel like he's going to perform really well in here. I guess you're not, I mean, you're not really going to be using the revive, because the EZA event really doesn't hit that hard. But it's still there, and maybe, like, you have to bring some people not on the leader skill or something, just because, you know, your box isn't as good. Then you'll be able to make use out of the revive, and then, of course, just be able to perform really well in here. So, yeah, just a very good option. Now, moving on to the next choice, we have LR God Goku. Now, JP players, I know you guys don't have this guy's EZA yet. I would assume you'd be getting it soon. One would think, right? But I don't know what Dokkan is doing. I don't think it's gotten revealed that this guy's coming out on JP yet. So, I would expect it if you're on JP within the next couple weeks. But I don't know, man. Dokkan's being weird, per normal. But yeah, if you're on Global, this guy's a very good option if you have him EZA'd, because Pure and Hybrid Sands as a lead does cover a lot of the units on Legendary Existence. It's every single Goku and even some Brolys and some Bardoks as well. So definitely a good lead there. And he's very good. I mean, you know, he's got the greatly raising attack and defense for 5 turns. Of course, he does have the 70% chance to crit and dodge for the first 7 turns. So, I mean, with that, he's going to be doing a lot of damage. And pretty much taking no damage at all, as long as you get some good RNG with the dodge. And again, you know, links good with a lot of Gokus. And just a very good option overall. Not really too much to him. He doesn't have an active skill or anything. But I feel like he will be pretty useful in here as just a unit. And then, of course, if you need to run him as a lead, you could make it work. But alright, moving on to the next option. We've got the new Dokkan Fest God Goku. Now, this guy is not an LR, and he does have type disadvantage. So he might not perform the best in this event, just because, obviously, you know, he's a little bit handicapped because of those 2 things. But still, he's going to perform well in here. I mean, he's a very good unit. And for the first 6 turns, which these fights aren't going to be going longer than turn 6, so you'll have this for most of the fight. You do some extra damage, and you got the physical orb changing going on. So I feel like he's going to perform pretty well. You know, he's stacking as well. And overall, just going to be looking really good. You got the transformation if you need to use it. I really don't know if it's going to be all that crazy because, again, this guy has type disadvantage. So I do think you're probably going to want to stay in his pre-transform state. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe not, because he gets the crits when he transforms. Yeah, he gets a guaranteed crit for 3 turns and attacks effective against all types. So actually, you know what? Yeah, you might want to transform with this guy just so he does more damage. But you are sacrificing a little bit of defense because, of course, he does lose out on the dodge and the guard. But still, I mean, just a very good option. If you need to run him as a lead, you can make it work. Same reason why you can make this guy work. They literally lead the same categories, except for this guy is at 200%. So actually, this guy might be a little bit of a better lead. And, I mean, yeah, overall, I know a lot of you probably have him too, so I wanted to include him on the list. But he's definitely going to be very good, just because him himself is very good. And, you know, he's on the Legendary Existence category, and it'll just work very well in this EZA event. But alright, next up, we have the EZA TUR Int UI Goku. Now, this guy's going to be pretty solid in here because, of course, when you transform with him, he does become very good. He does have the great chance to dodge. He's got the guaranteed dodge for that first turn, and he is stacking throughout the whole fight. So, definitely, I mean, he'll look better, but again, keep in mind, it is an EZA event, so you're not really going to be going for that long. So this guy isn't going to look that crazy offensively, just because it does take a while to, you know, get good when you're stacking offense. But in terms of stacking defense, then, you know, get a couple supers off, and this guy's going to be looking pretty good. In his pre-transform state, so in UI Sign, he's really not all that crazy. He just has the 150% attack and defense start of turn, and then that's it. So very limited, not really much going on for him here. But then when you transform with him, as I said, he does get the guaranteed dodge for that first turn. He has a great chance to dodge after that. He has a 200% attack buff instead, so that actually is pretty impressive, especially considering your stacking attack. And yeah, just overall, going to be pretty good in this event. Realm of Gods for 160% across the board is his leader skill. And again, I mean, most of the UI Gokus, most of the God Gokus, and even some BEERUSes are going to be able to fit under that lead. I guess, you know what, you could bring the Dragon Ball Superheroes Trunks as well. Although, just keep in mind, you're going to be using a heavily nerfed version of this guy, because he gets better when there's Dragon Ball Heroes category allies on the rotation. So I don't really suggest you bring him, but if you, like, need to throw him on the team because you have no one else, then I guess you can make it work. So yeah, just overall, I don't really think this guy is going to be, I guess, the best lead. Well, no, you can make it work, actually, because, I mean, Realm of Gods, of course, you know, a lot of UI Gokus and God Gokus. But in terms of, like, his damage, he's really not going to be that crazy. There's a lot of other, like, high damaging units on the category. But I know a lot of you probably have him. So bringing him definitely, you'll be able to make it work, right? That's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, good option here. But moving on to the next option, we've got the Physical Bardock. Now, this guy just easy on Global, so, of course, now us Global players have access to this. And this guy is going to be crazy for this event. He's going to be supporting everyone. He's going to have the defense, which, if you're not aware, this guy's defense is insane. After the first attack, you get the guard, and then after the attack after that, you get the 30% defense, and you get 50% defense on super attack effect. So, defensively, just a crazy unit right here. And with the support, he's going to be making everyone look a lot better. Of course, you know, making, for instance, Namek Goku hit a lot harder, UI Goku, because even though it's only a 30% attack and defense buff, it actually does make a pretty big difference. And of course, he does support for the 2 key as well, which is very useful. Just makes it to where it's easier for the LRs to get to their 18 key. And yeah, just a very solid option. His damage really is not going to be good, like, at all. I think at most you'll be hitting like a 5 million attack stat, which is alright, but keep in mind he's a TUR and he has type disadvantage. So his damage, it's just not going to be good if you're not getting like crits off. But I mean, with the guard, it doesn't really matter that he has type disadvantage in terms of his defense, because of course that'll kind of shield him. But yeah, just overall a very good option. I would say because he's crazy defensively and because of the support, it makes it to where you do kind of want to bring or you kind of have to bring this guy if you have him, right? So yeah, definitely a good option here. But moving on to the final option, we've got the EZA God Goku. Now, this guy's going to be very good in here because BEERUS and WHIS are, of course, on the movie bosses category. So this guy is going to have the 77% damage reduction. So if you're struggling to survive this event, then bringing him on the team definitely will be good because he will absolutely be able to hold down slot 1. And I guess even just bringing him on the team just because will work pretty well because he does have the rainbow orb changing as well. So for units like, I don't know, like God Goku, he'll benefit a lot from it because he needs key spheres. And a lot of the LRs as well because then, you know, just help them get their 18 key. So definitely a good option here. His damage really isn't going to be the craziest because he's not an LR. But if you get a lot of key spheres, his damage definitely can get up there. And if you're getting lucky with like crits and additionals and stuff like that, then again, his damage definitely can't get up there. So yeah, a good option overall because of his defensive capabilities. But I don't really think he's going to be doing that much damage. And yeah, well, I mean, that pretty much is the video. I guess there's a couple people you can bring that I didn't talk about. AGL Bardock and then this Goku right here will work because they both have type advantage. Actually, you know what? This guy, I should have mentioned him on the list because he's got a very good leader skill to where, of course, you'll be able to run a lot of the units on here. So I guess this is another good sub lead that you could run because, of course, he has a damage reduction, he has type advantage, and overall, I feel like he'll perform somewhat well in this event. So definitely, I mean, a solid option here if you don't have a lot of the standout leads. And then AGL Bardock, I mean, look, dude, this guy's really not that good. But if you have to throw him on the team, I guess you could make it work. He's got some damage reduction. And, of course, he has stacking as well, which we already established that's not really good for EZA events. But still, I guess it's good he has it, right? So, I mean, that pretty much is it. I guess you got UI Goku right here. Definitely a good option. He's got the dodge and all that, so he can be pretty solid. And he is an LR, so he's going to be hitting hard. Who else? Yeah, okay. So hitting God Goku. Actually, so there's a couple people I forgot about. But all these guys could work. I mean, as you see right here, there's a lot of standout options, but just very specific units. When I say there's a lot of standout options, there's really not. It's just like 5 or 7. But I mean, in terms of LRs, right? I mean, in TURs, there's a lot. But again, you do want to bring LRs. So these units right here, you're going to want to make sure you prioritize the bring. And then if you don't have them, you kind of, you rely on some of these guys, which a lot of these right here aren't really that crazy. But we've already kind of gone over the standout ones. So yeah, all right, well, that has been the video. Let me know how easy this EZA event is going to be for you. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.